Everyone should ask themselves what they have done so far and what they can do right now. Some people say that they have been praying for 30 years. It implies that they have been in a kind of university, so it is important what they have learned during that time. Others say that for 30 years they have been trying hard to resolve their life issues and what they have learned from that. Making efforts without getting results, that is not science. It makes sense to try to solve certain issues, but only if you get some results at the end. Still others say that they have been working for 30 years, but what they have achieved without reaping something real, they will say to themselves that they are not gifted, they do not think right, and so on. Such self condemnation is not productive at all and does not contribute anything to one's well being. Instead of feeling guilty, thinking that failure is their fault, people should get acquainted with the environment where they live when entering the University of Life to acquire the knowledge that is needed for building new foundations of life. You should renounce all those unnatural traits inherited from your ancestors. Divine knowledge does not correlate with human mistakes, with the inherited bad and unnatural traits. Professors of the great University of Life are not interested in the misconceptions and interpretations of old, erroneous doctrines about law, morality, and so on. The false should be removed. As we separate chaff from wheat, the chaff is important as well, but its place is not in the barn. People entering the University of Life search for the same amenities as at home. That is not possible. The amenities at the university differ fundamentally from those in one's personal life. They are of different nature. If you want comforts in your life, you need to put wisdom into action. The comforting conditions in life are due to the harmonious interaction between the forces of pressure, tension, and wisdom. If the forces of pressure and tension balance each other and yield to wisdom, in other words, to divine source, the latter will bring ease and comfort in life. If by wisdom, following divine source, we can solve the tasks of pressure and tension as opposing forces in life, that means to do God's will. To come to the fulfillment of God's will, one needs to consciously learn and apply the learned. Now, we want to present the true order of things as it exists in nature. We want to draw people's attention to the right thoughts. Right thoughts give freedom to people. When thoughts are right, people can explain the laws of life to themselves, and thus they will gain the freedom, giving them an opportunity for learning and working. All external conditions that affect people, beneficial or not, pleasant or not, represent pressure in life. The inner life of human beings, with all ordinary thoughts, feelings, aspirations, wishes, worries, anxieties, troubles, and despairs, represent tension in life. Those two forces, which have both outside and inside effects, need to be organized by the divine. How can a divine manifestation be recognized? A man was walking down the street carrying a bag containing important documents and money. He did not notice that the bag was falling apart. He was walking worry-free. However, the bag broke and only the handle remained in his hand. Another man walking behind him saw the bag on the ground and picked it up. He ran after the owner and gave it back to him. In this case, he behaved in a divine way. He followed his divine guidance without being tempted by the bag's content, and immediately returned it to the rightful owner. In the divine world, There are no thefts and crimes. Anyone who has tried to steal something was caught and searched immediately. Those who live in the divine world, the world of wisdom, do not steal. However, those who live in the physical world are easily tempted. That person, for example, would not have returned the bag to its owner, but would have kept it, saying that it was good luck to find it. In such case, the bag would have exerted pressure on his psyche, causing him a state of tension. Now, studying the laws of divine and spiritual world, you notice that not all feelings and thoughts are yours. Many thoughts and feelings pass through your mind, but you are not their source. You should accept only those thoughts and feelings that are in accord with your own nature and serve your upliftment and development. Do not admit inferior, egotistic thoughts and feelings into yourself. Neither build anything with them. So when sublime thoughts come to you, when you feel inspired, know that you are not alone, but you are assisted by the great divine world in cooperation with the entire creation for the emergence of such ideas or insights within you. A prominent European physics professor had worked on a scientific topic for several years. When he was ready to publish his research, one of his students stole the valuable scientific material and published it under his own name. When the professor saw his work published by somebody else, he suffered a stroke. The student became famous with the stolen work, while the professor lost his good health. But soon, the student was caught with plagiarism. Both failed to cope with the forces operating in the world.